Hey guys, and welcome back to Man Time. Today's episode we're going to be rebuilding and repacking the outrigger or stabilizer cylinder on this Ford 555. I've got it pretty well laid out here and cleaned up. First thing I did was clean out all of these surfaces here and get them nice and cleaned. There was also a ring for the dust seal that was stuck inside of there, and I was trying to kind of fit everything up beforehand and noticed that these dust seals have a metal ring on them, and so mine was separated. Half of it was stuck inside of here, and half of it ended up coming out. But so that was bad. Also on this one here, it was missing all of the packing inside of here, so I've looked and kind of looked at the other one and saw how that packing went in there. And they sold me a really nice packing Gland set at the store there for both the piston and then the what they call the Gland here. One of the reasons this Gland might not have come off so easy, there wasn't an O-ring or anything around this outside, so a lot of dirt and rust was built up right around this area here. So I've got another O-ring for the inside here and a little Gland. Or backing ring as they call it, I think. So I'm going to clean up the threads here, move this O-ring up into that recess there, and hopefully that will help alleviate anything from getting inside of there again, and I'll be actually able to get this off of there if, you know, the time ever comes to need to repack it. The other cylinder there, I'm having big problems getting it off. I also noticed the rod was bent on it. So I've got another ring. I've got another whole cylinder assembly coming for that one, but I've got to get that tube off of the backhoe before I can put it on there. And I'm still not real sure how to do that, but we'll go ahead and we'll get this cleaned up here. I got a few of these threads to clean up, and then we'll start repacking it. Welcome to Man Time. So for repacking this Gland, I'm going to start with moving this O-ring back, and a couple of handy tools are these dental tools with like a 90-degree, and then one that's just a pick, maybe one with a little curve thing on it. Those are nice to have. So let's see how we want to do this here. There's also this kind of backing ring. We'll just move both of those out and down. Yeah, I don't know what the backing ring is going to do so much, but this O-ring was pretty wore out. It had a couple flat spots in it. We'll just roll that all the way down here and see if we can't get that backing ring. May not make it. It's pretty stiff. Okay, there we go. We got our backing ring and O-ring down here. Now we'll put the new backing ring and O-ring on the Gland here with some oil. Oil. There we go. Alright, that looks pretty good so far. I got those threads cleaned up, so we're good there. And then this is the packing. Came in a nice little kit like that, and you want the V's to go toward where the oil's pushing. So in this case, the V's are going to be pointing up and out. I think they may have given me one too many there. Unless, let's see here. There's already one gland down in there. Yeah, I think maybe this one was supposed to come out too. Okay, there's one of the old glands. I guess that one was meant to be replaced as well. So now we're really getting down to it. Okay. Well, and this is a little fiber ring that just keeps the rod centered as it's moving through there. Give that a good once over. Make sure it's all cleaned up. Okay, so now we've got a completely empty gland. Start with that, and now we'll go with this whole wad of packing here and see if that doesn't fit. Oil. Okay, and then that compresses inside of there. Yeah, I think that's the way that's supposed to go there. Good deal. Alright, next is our keeper ring. And I've got these new pliers here I want to try out. They seem a little too fancy. They're made to be bi-directional here, so you can squeeze and pinch, but we'll try it out. That's cute. Yeah, it already broke off of there. Real nice. Oh, that's cute. Yeah, these don't work. One of those gimmicky things that you think, you know, man, that's a really smart design. You can go one way and then go the other way, but in reality it doesn't work. I don't know why, but anyway. Alright, tried and true. Single use. Alright. And then just a little persuasion. Get that snap ring down to where it needs to go. there we have it. All packed in there, good and tight. And man, that is a good snug fit. Okay, last thing is going to be our dust seal. Get a little oil down inside of here. And we'll just tap that in. Nope. Alright, that looks like we did it there. Nice and flush. Let's see if we can go down just a little bit more. Okay, I think we are successfully packed there. I got the dust seal on there, all of our packing in there, good and clean, threads are good, and then this is going to be the first thing that goes onto our rod here. So let's get that on there. See how easy this thing goes on here. Go like that. Oh. Something tells me a little persuasion on something flat is going to work on this. Alright. Yeah, that's snug. That is really snug. Alright. Give it a couple more whacks here. Alright, I think that did it. Okay. There's all of our old stuff. Set that off to the side. Alright, next comes the piston. And so we'll just note how we take this stuff apart here. And again, we want to clean up any of the surfaces. If they've got a little spot rusting or anything like that on there, take care of that. And especially if there's any galling or anything on here. Yeah, there's just some little nicks and scratches on there. We'll get those cleaned up. Okay, we'll continue here. A little oil. And I think this packing material here is just going to kind of lay right in there. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, you can see here these are just pretty well destroyed. Alright, so on this piece here, we had a big piece and then several smaller pieces of that that packing material. Not quite an O-ring, more like an oil seal. And these happen to be a rubber or fiber impregnated rubber. Yeah, a little bit of surface rust on there. Use some Scotch-Brite. All right. Okay, so again, the big one went first, and then all of the rest of the packing. So we'll just put this whole block on here, oil. This is going to go on there. Okay. Yeah, all those are seated nicely on there, and I guess this one just acts as kind of a okay. That looks like everything for the piston. Let's go ahead and try to get this screwed on now to the cylinder, to the rod. One of the lessons learned, I think, from the last time, or when I took this apart, was that one of the lessons learned, I think, from when I took this apart, was that you really don't want to over tighten. We'll use some good Loctite here, and that should be sufficient to seal up these threads. I'll just make sure we get enough on there. Put it in a couple spots there like that. Because there is definitely such a thing as over tightening, right? I think we found that out the hard way. Oh boy, that's tight. Okay, well, we'll just tighten it up there, and it should just push that gland right on. there we have it. I don't think I need to do much more than that. Next thing is going to be putting it onto the backhoe, and then yeah, that's gonna do it. Let's get it on the backhoe. All right, first thing we're gonna do is make sure there's no kind of debris or sand or dust or anything that's got into our cylinder here. And that is clean. All right. Nice clean part of the rag here. Go around in our threads. Clean those up. Get our little wire brush. And yeah. Clean up these threads right in here. Alright, that looks pretty good. Oh boy. Yeah, you could hear it push out some of the air there. I think that means we're getting tight. Alright, now we'll just try to rotate cylinder. And the easiest thing I found for this was a chain wrench. To at least get it started here. Got a little nick there. The O-ring started to pinch as well. So we'll put some more oil on there. Yeah, that O-ring just goes straight away to pinching. So it may not have had an O-ring in there to begin with. Okay, I'm going to call it good right there. I really don't want to tighten that down too much, plus I've got that ring in the back inside of there, so it's probably going to pinch down on that. But that sucker's good and tight. That's not going anywhere. One other thing I did, let me show you. To keep these pins from seizing up, I went ahead and machined a couple rings around there, so then it'll actually accept grease. There was no way for that grease to come in there and spread out the way that it sat. I mean, there was no channels in there for that grease to go, so it was just going through a hole and hitting this pin, and you know, there was surface rust and stuff all up around there and pitting, which made it even more difficult to get to. But alright, I'm going to button this up. I'm probably going to grab a ratchet strap, pull this cylinder in until it lines up, with the outrigger or stabilizer down here at the bottom. Put this pin in there and call this side done. I guess that's really all there is to it. It wasn't too terribly difficult. So if you've got a cylinder leaking, you can go and get a packing kit. There's some packing kits online, but yeah, not too bad. Take it apart, put some new seals on it, put it back together. It's gonna do it for today on Man Time, guys. Get out there, have you some man time too.